Stevens, and I'm the commanding officer of the 3rd Recruit Training Battalion. And on behalf of the Commanding General of the Marine Corps Recruiting Command and the Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego, I would like to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for Company M. I'd first like to extend a warm welcome to our Commanding General, Major General Bailey, to our Regimental Commanding Officer, Colonel Gates, and to today's parade reviewing officers, Vice Admiral Emery and Major General Caulfield, and to all the distinguished guests, and to all of our distinguished guests and families and friends, once again, welcome. I'd also like to recognize the Educators Workshop, visiting us this week from recruiting stations in Kansas City and St. Louis. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed your opportunity to observe recruit training over the past week. And I hope that you're leaving here with just a little more insight and knowledge about the transformation that takes place here on the Recruit Depot. I'd also like to thank you for the work that you do in helping to develop our nation's youth. Thank you. Folks, I'd like to begin this morning by taking just a few minutes to tell you a little bit about the remarkable young men that you see standing in front of you. They come from 5 different countries, from as far away as Vietnam, and from as nearby as right outside the main gates here in the city of San Diego. Their average age is 19 years old, and over 99% of them are high school graduates. 8 of them have college degrees. And I'm happy to tell you that one of them has finally gotten it right, having joined our Marine Corps following a successful tour in the United States Air Force. Good job. But no matter how diverse a group they were when they arrived here, some 3 months ago, these 403 young men came together and dedicated themselves to completing our nation's toughest and most rigorous recruit training. A recruit training process that has emphasized our core values of honor, courage, and commitment, the hallmarks of all U.S. Marines. Today, these young men stand before you representing all that is good in our great nation and in your United States Marine Corps. At this time, it is my distinct privilege to publicly address our nation's newest Marines. Good morning, Marines. Nicely done. That, ladies and gentlemen, is pride. And as you can clearly see and hear, they are extremely proud, and rightfully so, because they've earned it. And parents, I know that you share in that same sense of pride, because much of their success is a direct result of the values and moral fiber that you have instilled in them. So on behalf of every man and woman in the United States, I want to thank you for providing one of your most cherished assets for the defense of our great nation. So please give yourselves a big hand. Now, when you get your Marine back today, you may notice a few changes. And I'm not just talking about his stylish new haircut. He may stand a little taller. He may be a little more mature. He will be in the best physical condition of his life. He may use strange or unusual words like sir and ma'am. He will eat everything that you put on his plate, and likely do so in less than 4 minutes. He will wear his pants where they belong, around his waist, with a belt. You're welcome. And for all the mothers visiting out here today, I can promise you one thing. He knows how to make his bed. But more than that, what you're going to see is pride. Pride that comes from belonging to the greatest fighting force that this world has ever seen. Pride that only comes from having earned the title Marine. He has been transformed over these last few weeks, and the transformation will last a lifetime. The men responsible for that transformation are, of course, our legendary Marine Corps drill instructors. Through their leadership, dedication, and personal example, the drill instructors of Company M have left a lasting and positive impression on each one of your sons. And so if you haven't had the opportunity already, I encourage you, following today's ceremony, find your son's drill instructors and thank them for a job well done. Your words of thanks will be greatly appreciated. Long before your Marine stepped foot on the depot and met his drill instructors, he had already met with and worked with another Marine back in his hometown, his recruiter. Marine recruiters are some of the hardest working Marines in our Corps today, and we here at the depot truly appreciate their efforts. At this time, I'd like to introduce today's visiting recruiter, Sergeant Perez, from Recruiting Station Indianapolis, Indiana. Sergeant Perez is responsible for recruiting today's Company Honor graduate, PFC Beckman. Sergeant Perez, thank you for your professional execution of this critical Marine Corps mission. Your future as Marines awaits you. Men, you've worked hard over these last few months in order to earn the right to bear the title Marine. And in doing so, you accept the responsibility to honor those generations of Marines who have proudly carried our nation's colors into battle. In fact, it was 66 years ago today, on April 1st, 1945, that Marines from the 1st and 6th Marine Divisions landed on the island of Okinawa and initiated the largest amphibious assault in the Pacific during World War II. And just as those Marines stood ready to answer the call of their nation, I know that you stand ready, as once again our nation finds its Corps of Marines deployed around the world. And so as you prepare to leave the depot, I ask that you never forget what you've learned here, that you take care of one another, and that you remain always faithful to our core values. Gentlemen, I'm proud of each and every one of you and all that you've accomplished here. And on behalf of the commanders, the drill instructors, and the depot support personnel, I wish you fair winds and following seas. Semper Fidelis.
Platoon 3275, Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Christopher L. Olinger. And strength as an elite fighting force is directly attributable to the magnificent efforts of the drill instructors and company officers.
On the very right. You see him?
Good board. It's hard to find him in the viewfinder. It's one thing to look at him in real life.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to introduce to you the Marines responsible for ensuring the success of the difficult transition required to become a Marine. The company commander is Captain S.Y. Smith. The company first sergeant is First Sergeant L.E. Harrell. The Marines standing in front of the platoon have spent 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the past 3 months training your Marine. Drill instructor duty is extremely demanding and requires enormous personal sacrifice to accomplish the mission of making Marines. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in a warm round of applause for the officers and drill instructors of Company M. Received from their drill instructors, and probably the most welcome order they have received while in boot camp. Receptacles for the disposal of any and all waste while aboard NCRD. Thank you.
I'm going to record while you say hi.
Yeah. Just hold it. Just hold it.
My feet makes me try not to. Oh, it sucks though.
You too, Grandpa.
Yes, it's very tight. Yeah, for a couple days. 10 days. I'm gonna enjoy it.
Keep in touch with her.
I will.
Write to your grandma. Don't write to me. Write to her.
I will write to Grandma.
I bet you can do it.
You guys gotta leave.
We gotta go.
Yeah. So let's walk. We gotta walk behind.
Here, Dad.